Welcome to You're Doing It Wrong with Coach PJ. Today I'm going to show you how to do the dumbbell row, single arm dumbbell row. What we're going to do here is actually going to correlate to a lot of different types of rows, pretty much any rowing variation. But I'm going to show you what people typically do wrong when they're performing rows, and then how to correct that to train it much more effectively. So first, to get set up for a single arm row, Christina's set up with one hand on the bench, and she's going to go ahead and show you some rows like normal people do at a gym. So really using a lot of momentum, you'll see people typically rowing a heavy weight and they're not paying any attention to the shoulder position at all. So go ahead and pull it up and show at the top. So one of the really wrong things here, you notice she's trying to pull this dumbbell up as high as she can, and as she rows forward, as she rows up, her shoulder is dumping forward. She's putting all this pressure into the anterior compartment of her shoulder, which is not good. She's stressing the tissues of the front of her shoulder, and it's not something we want to do in this row. Also, she's paying no attention to her shoulder blade position or her shoulder position. She's just using momentum to pull up. And really, she's using mostly her biceps to do a lot of this work. All she's doing is using some momentum and finishing the movement with her bicep. So what I want Christina to do to get in the right position, number one, she's got a nice neutral spine here. So she's hinged at the hips, she's supporting herself with one hand, and she's got a nice neutral spine. Number two, the first thing I want her to do is I want her to retract her shoulder blade. So she's going to squeeze her shoulder blade back first, so let it go. So she's going to go ahead and retract her shoulder blade. Now she's got her shoulder blade retracted, she's going to pull the dumbbell up, and she's just trying to pull her arm right into her ribs. So her arm should get in line with her body. The dumbbell doesn't have to come all the way to her body. She's just pulling her arm here, and then she's thinking about squeezing this whole thing back, almost as if she was trying to put her tricep back against her shoulder blade or back against her ribs. So she's squeezing that back. That's going to engage the lats, the rhomboids, the traps. All of the muscles of the back side of her body are going to be doing a lot of work here. She'll go back down under control, and she can let that shoulder blade protract and then go back into retraction before each rep. But it's important that she's paying attention to that shoulder blade position. She's retracting that shoulder blade before she pulls, and then she's stopping in a good range of motion, so she's not getting over rowing, which you see people do a lot when they're using a rowing machine. They want to pull the bar all the way to their stomach. So if I pull that bar all the way here, you notice my elbows are way behind my body. I'm not getting any extra work out of this position, and I'm dumping this shoulder forward. So all we have to do is pull that arm right to your body, get a good squeeze so we get those shoulder blades pulled back, and that's going to be a much safer and a much more effective rowing position. So just show me two good reps here. Shoulder blade pulled back, she squeezes right to her body, and she's in a much better, a much more efficient position for performing any type of rowing variation.